Steve from Monster Truck.
And I'm Brandon.
These are our crazy tour stories.
First crazy story. Our first real big shows that we ever played. Now we'd done some cool stuff around Canada back. We started touring in 2011. Some cool Canadian stuff, but then early 2012 we got an opportunity to open for one of our biggest influences and one of the biggest classic hard rock bands of all time. We played 4 shows with Deep Purple. That was as crazy as it really can get, I think, for who you play with, who you could play with. The history of that band is so big for what we do and for rock and roll in general that just playing with them was crazy. They brought us up to their dressing room a couple times. Roger Glover told us stories of how he started to play bass. It was crazy, decadent, any kind of food you want to eat, any kind of booze you want to drink.
I was up on the side of the stage watching them the first night we were with them, and there came a point where Steve Morse was doing a guitar solo, and the rest of the guys kind of walk off the stage for a solo, and Roger Glover walks right over to me, and I hadn't met anyone in the band yet. He just walked over, he's like, "I really dig your band, man." And I was like, "Thank you." And my parents saw me from the crowd, and they were like, "You look pretty nervous when Roger was walking over to you there." And I was like, "Well, that's because I was, probably."
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So that's crazy story number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2?
We were on tour with Alice in Chains last summer, and Jerry Cantrell and Mike Inez and Dean from Chevelle, who was also on the tour, are big golfers along with some of the crew members. And Jerry kept asking if any of us know to golf, and me and Brando like to play golf. And so he kept saying, "Okay, we always golf on our days off. You guys gotta come with us." We were touring in a van back then, so we would spend our days off driving to the next city instead of they would just wake up in the next city and have the day off there. So we got to the last day off the tour. Jerry's like, "You guys gonna come?" I said, "No, because we'd have to wake up the rest of our whole band and crew at like 5 in the morning to make that drive so we could make tee off with you guys." So Jerry's like, "All right, hold on, I'll get back to you." Comes back half hour later, he's like, "All right, Steve, you're coming on our bus. Brandon, you're going on Chevelle's bus." And we went on their buses overnight. We got to Winnipeg, I believe it was. Yeah, Winnipeg at 5 in the morning. They got us our own hotel room, like for the day, just so we could sleep until the round. And then we went golfing with Alice in Chains. It was awesome. It was really, really awesome.
It was pretty cool. Mostly because those guys just treated us like regular people. Like we were saying in a different segment, that if you're just really nice to people and treat them as you'd like to be treated, good things will happen, and they are a perfect example of that. Just really sweet people, really genuine people. And yeah, they took us golfing just like they would probably take anyone golfing who was a golfer and was hanging around traveling with them. So,
and, went out of their way to let us travel on their bus, their home, so we could go with them, And
who won?
Mike, I don't remember. Probably not.
Dean from Chevelle.
Oh, yeah,
Dean from Chevelle shot 85, and he had his own clubs, and he's a really good golfer. Nothing to take away from him. And I think he drank like 6 beers, so that's impressive to me because I can't drink that much and play good. I think both me and Steve tied with
I think we were like around 90-ish.
Somewhere right around 90.
Yeah.
And then
Jerry was having a rough day, I remember.
Jerry was having a rough day. Mike claims that he's no good at all, but he's pretty good. He did all right.
My cart partner was Craig, who was Jerry's guitar tech, who's actually Alex Van Halen, or Eddie Van Halen's guitar tech. So I had great talks with him all the other day over beers, hearing really cool stories. And
Craig is a classic.
He was probably the worst golfer, and he was like, "Here comes the putter throw," He was, but it was, yeah, it was.
That was
awesome.
Crazy. It was a crazy day. It was so fun.
And at the end of that tour, the last 2 shows, Mike and Inez came up on stage and did a song with us. So that was really
That's
cool.
crazy too.
Yeah. And I like kind of like forgot what I was doing for a second. I was like, "Whoa, Mike's playing." And I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta play the song."
And he decided to choose one of the hardest songs to play,
Yeah.
and he killed it.
Nailed it.
It's crazy.